dulu ya. Oh wow.
Yeah. That's what I was
Because
thinking.
they really goes to the all level of life,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Means education means
Yeah.
first when you're young,
Yeah.
you've been trained to watch puppetry.
Yes.
And so
Every
it's like
every
all
month, every
levels,
week.
right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's every level. They have access
Yeah.
to go to puppetry performances.
Yes.
Means the artists also have. I mean, if you said
Access.
teachers, right? Teachers mean they also do it. You know, as
Yeah. And
that's
they
interesting.
and those like amateur group maybe they would come as a family. Like they maybe their daughters are doing the shows with high school friends.
Yeah.
The family would come, or actually they are the family who do this. I don't
Yes,
know,
yes,
but
yes, yes.
they combine of different very different kind of
Ah,
communities.
that's interesting.
And then the workshops are very nice in the morning. Is that
Ih, Risek, tanya Papeo.
and they are very nice that the children maybe the very infant or a child they can get their own workshop by younger artists, but maybe the amateur or the adults they can get a more professional like I know a Ban
Yeah.
in that festival, so
Okay.
he is also teaching.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so again, like there's always layers and access for everyone.
yeah,
Can have access in their own ways
yeah,
to understand puppetry in many different levels.
Yeah.
Like for beginners, but also, so there's always like
yeah, and the
it's a
workshop may be
system.
like
It become a system.
and
And
the
also,
workshop can be like a few days morning.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it has a development, and then they may pull a show after the workshop,
Right.
a little showcase.
in the morning is workshop, afternoon showcase of the workshop, or some amateur performance,
Amateur performance, and the night is the
professional.
professional.
So
And then
really, yeah,
after
people
that,
really
they will
can.
have a gathering, talks about the whole day, the performance of the day, and then they share.
And how big is it compared to the other art forms? The development of puppetry arts in Czech compared to the other art forms? Is it like becomes like we can say mainstream?
I don't think it's still alternative theater.
Okay.
The school names itself drama department and alternative theater department. I mean the school where we
Okay.
study the
But
national school.
I think it really depends on how you think about it, because even in normal drama or dance, they will use puppetry.
Yeah.
So it's not about I make a puppet show. It's about I use this media
Yes.
to in different art form to
Yes.
speak. And if you think about it, every day they will have a hundred or some several hundreds of performance happen in Prague, and we always see dance, drama,
Musical
rock concert, musical, and puppetry.
together.
Yeah, together.
It's definitely become
Yeah.
Yeah,
parts of it
yeah,
already.
It's very interesting. Like you see some artists here, with, even long time puppet artists, they will still say things like, "Oh, I didn't see any puppet in that festival or in that show." But I mean the contemporary way, like Czech is really kind of advanced in that thinking. They think they understand it in a very bold way, and actually even if you just use your phone or use your cup, if it is not its daily use purpose, it's already changing to object theater, right? So you can see that people are trying to blurry the
Of
genre
course.
rather than I'm trying to define it.
This is this
Yeah,
this
it has to has a figure,
Yes,
has to
of
have a
course, of
face,
course. Of
then
course, of course.
yeah. So
That's interesting.
of course we are talking about Czech is a very advanced in puppetry.
Yeah.
I believe.
thinking,
Yeah, in the way of thinking,
Of course.
and but before that they have a very strong how to say background or soil for young people to grow, not only in puppetry. They have very affordable,
Yeah, like ballet and they're
affordable
very
art training
yeah.
possibility for them. Like you pay very little money, and then you can go to
Music
learn
lessons.
musical.
yeah. It's art is not something that exclusive.
Yes.
Basically, it
Yes.
goes to everyday's life.
Yes.
And the government really sponsors
Support.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Supports
yeah.
that.
It's not like you go to a class with 30 people. It's 1-to-1 or 1-to-2,
Ah.
Yeah.
and then and then the artists will have some way to learn their money, to earn their money, and then they can pass on their skills, and then I think this
Nice.
is a very good
Format,
initiative.
yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, of
So
course.
that in like secondary school or what, they already have a lot of artistical training,
Mm,
and they know what is art, and they know how to appreciate it, and they know, oh, if I do this, I can, like, for example, pursue a life as an
oh,
artist, for
that's
example,
nice. Oh,
and
that's
then you
nice.
see the future.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
this is,
It's a hard work of many elements, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not just only one or two. It's
yeah,
really like the understanding of everyone
yeah.
that they need it. They need this, and
For me, the most important thing for me is like you see, if you are a young teenager or something, if you see the role, you can pursue it, then you will have more possibility to become an artist.
right, 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 right.
Now, if you are a kid, you don't see any future as an
True.
artist, then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
why?
How
Yeah,
can you do that?
yeah,
Yeah,
and why?
And the parents are
exactly.
not like encouraging you to do
Yeah,
this.
I think
Yeah,
that's what happened in mostly in Asia, no?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Not in China.
Not in China. Oh, being an artist is something privilege.
Well, they actually have to
Mm.
learn like every day after school they have to go to study some art school, in order to
Ah.
get into university
but
or, or those
that is
art
another
academy.
kind of competition.
Yeah, I mean
But
even
I think
performing arts
this
or
is the thing
visual
that
arts.
as long as I remember, because that was also happened when Indonesia have a big communist party,
Yeah, yeah,
arts becomes very important.
yeah.
In terms of like communist people, arts is something very. So I did, so that makes sense if Czech Republic have that, like Soviet Union also have that kind of like arts is very strong. China as well because of that political statement and understanding. So I think it's yeah,
Yeah, but it's
it's
strange in Macau and Hong Kong, not like that. Yeah,
it's
we're
mixed.
polluted.
It's mixed maybe with the other stuff,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah. With capitalism,
yeah, now it changed into that part that
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Now the capitalism is taking care, like
yeah,
taking the whole
yeah,
part as well. Anyway,
yeah, yeah.
okie
Okay,
dokie, let's
okay.
do this.
So, thank you, Ria. So we're recording,
Yep.
and first of all, can you tell us more about the festival?
Or maybe you introduce yourself first.
Oh,
Yeah.
to the
Yeah,
Yeah,
to,
you
to
can.
you,
yeah,
right?
To
to
us,
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
it's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So my name is Ria. I'm the founder and co-artistic director of Paper Moon, and in this festival, I became one of the initiator and also the artistic director of the festival.
Okay. So can you tell me more about the background of the
Festa Boneka.
festival? Yeah, like how big is the team? Any
Yeah.
volunteer?
Well, basically, maybe I can tell the history first of
Uh huh.
the
Yeah, yeah,
festival,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So, Festa Boneka is an artist initiative run festival. So basically, Paper Moon consists of right now we are consist of 6 people, but Paper Moon have been doing this festival since 2008. Um, what I found interesting is because we never designed it as a festival in the beginning. So at that time we were 2 years old group with mostly volunteers rather than professional artists. And then I remember at that time like a couple of us uh, we know that people came, I mean other puppetry artists came to Indonesia to learn about traditional wayang, traditional puppet theater, because of the famous big name of traditional shadow puppets
yeah.
around the globe. So we found that there are always some students coming from abroad, and they actually at that time our government has a scholarship. So if you want to learn something in Indonesia, there is an opportunity for you to get a scholarship. But it's not. I think it's non-degree scholarship. So it's for you to stay for a year and learning from the school, stuff like that. So we found out that there are lots of. I mean, not a lot, but many people wants to learn about wayang. And then one time there was someone from Mexico. She came to us and she said, "I found you on Facebook or in internet." At that time, we didn't have like social media like Instagram, right? On 2008, so there was Facebook. I wrote blogspot for Paper Moon. So as soon as type paper puppet theater Indonesia, because we use English words in that blogspot, so it suddenly appear. I mean, our blogs will appear or So, what's this? And she found it's very interesting because when she came here, she wants to learn about wayang, but then she missed. Of course, if you learn traditional art form, there are always some, some patterns, some
Yeah,
rules,
format. Yeah.
some format that you have to follow. And she missed the freedom of making her own piece, right? So then she found us, and then she came to us, she contacted us, and then say, I would love to do something with you guys. I'm also a puppetry artist. And at that time, you're so hungry with learning about puppetry because when I started Paper Moon, I didn't have an idea of a puppet theater could be like this today. You know, all I know is hand glove puppets saying hi to children. Please don't throw your garbage. Like it's something that very close to the educational and children only. So if you see the beginning of our puppets and our puppets today, it's totally very different.
Yeah.
And it was not by design in the beginning. So I think Paper Moon grow in that way. And then she came from the Mexico, and then we discussed and we started to make, we learned from her basically. So we learned from each other. We built piece together, performances. And then another friend, the French Institute, uh, what do you call it? French Institute director in
Yeah.
Jogja,
Yeah.
actually was my neighbor at that time. And she said, Ria, do you know what? I have a French artist. She's an animator. She came to Jogja, wants to learn about wayang, but I think she needs to meet you. Then the second person from another country came in the same time with this Mexican artist. So we discussed, we talked, and then suddenly another two friends that I ever worked in Australia, they came over as well for a residency. So suddenly we have four countries: Australia, Mexico, French, and Indonesia. And I said, let's make a party. Like let's make puppets party. And that's how it means with
Festa
Pesta
Boneka.
Boneka,
Yeah. Puppet party.
puppet party. So it kind of like, okay, let's do this. And we decided to make a production performance together. And we just put like Pesta Boneka in the beginning. The theme is on a journey. So, but it's not like small performances happen, but it's one big production together. And then, so it was not a festival in the beginning. And then that was happened on 2008. On 2010, Iwan, our co-artistic director of Paper Moon, had a solo exhibition of our based on our performance. So our work at that time is about 1965 tragedy, and he built artworks. He made artworks. Basically, the way that he worked at that time was he designed the puppets and he used paintings as the art form for designing. So we ended up with making an exhibition in an art gallery at that time, and also put our sets there. And then at that time, the owner of the gallery came to us and said, "Hey, I have 10 million rupiah for you to make a catalog. For this
Exhibition.
exhibition. 10 million rupiah at that time, maybe this time is around what, like 700 US dollar, maybe, or 800 US dollar ish. So I told him, like, is it okay if you're not using? I mean, you're making catalog, you print it, and then people maybe will keep it for 1 or 2 years, and then they will throw it away, right? Can we use this money to make a little performance in the opening of the exhibition? And with this money, I can invite several friends, and it could be like a little festival. And I think that would be nice. So, and he was asking, did you ever do this before? Yeah, I think it's 2 years ago we did it.
Yeah.
So let's say it's a biennale because you did it every 2 years. You can do it again in the next 2 years. She's like, oh, that's a nice idea. Can we say biennale? Because for us, biennale is like, oh, biennale.
Yeah, Venetian.
Venetia biennale, whatever biennale, like
Puzzle.
those biennale,
puzzle.
right? Like the visual art biennale is like very prestigious and stuff. And that guy, I think we owe a lot to him. His name is Valentine Willy, and he's Malaysian, but at that time he had several galleries in Southeast Asia, like 4 galleries in 4 countries. And then he was the one who stated, like, you can make a biennale because it's actually basically it's only an event that happens every 2 years. It's a biennale.
Yeah. It's an
It's not.
adjective.
It's biannual. Like it's
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's okay for us to use that term. So of course, it's like, so we decided to use the name again, Pesta Boneca, and we make it a biennale. And then after that, we kind of like we have a commitment of doing a festival in that way. So of course in the beginning it's only Paper Moon doing it. At that time maybe just only six of us, maximum 10 people working on the festival, and we kind of like it grow organically. So it's not like by design, like oh the festival needs to be like this until I think so 2012, 2012 it became a different journey again. Like we started to make an exhibition and we invited some artists, but of course it's always with the format that we cannot afford to buy any flight tickets. Since the beginning we never buy any flight tickets or even pay fees because it's not what it we're not capable on do that. In the same time when the festival grow, we travel a lot as well. So since 2010, Paper Moon traveled like crazy to many different countries. We got invited to go here and there to festivals, to everywhere. And then I found something missing as an artist to join a festival, meeting the people. Because most of the time, when we perform in a festival, the host asks us to just be focused on our work, not joining the festival. Because we got paid to do that, right? Like we have to do it professionally. And it's nothing's wrong with that for me. It's because I hire you to do the job, you do the job, and then finish, you go home. It's, and if you have money, you can extend on your own, of course. And if you have money, you can watch other performances. But we are not that privileged for having that money or, possibilities of doing that. So I found that if I am an artist, got invited to a festival, besides just only for giving money and all the stuff, what do I do? What do I need most? So that became my reflection, our own reflection. So that's why Pesta Boneka is a festival that has this kind of art form, this kind of festival form. I always say this is a festival of sharing. In the open call, I mean, starting on the pandemic actually, 2020, we started to do an open call because we found that at that time, because it's online, we can reach merrier people from many different countries without involving flight tickets. So that's perfect, right? So we can have more, and everyone can join this festival because it was online.
That is 2020.
2020.
Okay.
So I think that was a big change for Paper Moon, basically.
So before that, you like invitation based for the artists.
Yeah, before we just met people in the other festivals or we make friends and you know what, we have festival. Do you want to come? But we just only, but because we discuss it as friend in the beginning, so they totally understand. It's easier because we understand each other's situation. So on 2020 we start that, and I think also because some friends keep coming back for the festival, so they spread the words outside and then tell that maybe this festival might meant a lot to them, and then they invited more friends to join. So I think that's also how this festival grow. So it's basically it's about friendship. And how many people work with us today? Honestly, we don't have volunteers. Lots of people raise their hands. They want to be the volunteer. And Jogja is a place where it's a place that actually people wants to be volunteer.
Really? That's
But for us, um, I would love to pay the people who work with me properly in a way that it's also good to have like to work with someone that you can who can handle it really well.
Yeah.
And of course it's because we will handle this so many people from many different countries, we don't want to make a mess.
Okay, understand.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes with volunteer, that's quite tricky,
Yeah.
commitment and all of the stuff. And
I think this is also a way that you contribute to the community.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we choose that way. We choose
Yeah.
that if people want to. I think lots of events outside us has many voluntary way. So for us is maybe then we can choose who's the best and then can work with us as well. Or maybe who can we can work with and then we can pay for them. Like so that's how it goes. But of course it's not like big money to pay. So again, it needs to be, they need it needs their willing as well to join this festival, and they have to be happy. I always to make sure that they have to be happy to work in this festival. Yeah.
And you said you have a 6 team on Paper Moon. 6 people.
Six
on
people on in Paper Moon, but to run this festival, maybe
20. You
in
said
total,
yesterday.
like the whole, like with all of this crew who plug in all the cables, maybe around 40, 40 to 50, I think. But like the team, the core team, basically core is me and Rere, only two person that keep, all the ideas came from two of us, our executive director, and then like the core team is maybe around less than 10, I think. It's maybe 10 people, I can say. Yeah.
And then how many shows and
Sorry,
artists?
sorry. Can I add up? So these 10 people, you gather them just for the festival, right?
Yeah, for example, like six already from Paper Moon, right?
Yeah.
Rere, he is our executive director, is the guy who I always hold his hand, and Dita, she's work on the production
Hospitality.
management. So 6, 8. Meda is the documentation, not sorry, documentation, public relation, and more like social media person. And then technical director Gading, and then he has another assistant, Giant, because we have to always discuss with technicals with all of the artists. I think those are like the main.
Yeah.
And then also documentation guy, yeah, the guy who prepare for our videos, for our promotions, pictures, and
The
everything.
core of the core.
Yeah,
as
like
they
those
say.
people, like, yeah, the core of the core. Before we add more people to help.
So these people you
Gather
like,
only for the festival.
yeah.
Yeah.
And from when to when? Like how?
That's
How
the
long?
thing. It's very interesting because me and Rere is the one that keep having like 24 hours contact until from now to the next 2 years. We always constantly, like, it's preparing all the time. It's only two of us. But then for those people, usually we kind of like 6 months before.
6 months before.
Yeah, we already, but everyone, we keep everyone on the loop. But it's not working, like we're not thinking about going to office and discuss and sit down, but everyone just, okay, have a, so for example, like, oh, it will be an open call a year before the festival happen. Get ready, get ready, get ready. So everyone is doing their own stuff. Okay, publish. And then after that, after 2 months, I will take a look on that, choosing. Okay, this is announcement. Get ready. So it's